And we'll see who bans the Ezreal first.
Well, they probably just won't ban the Ezreal this time. They will just pick properly against it. If they had a Maokai, I mean, we've seen that SK Telecom with Maokai and Ryze has been able to easily shut down Ryze players, but they were trying to play this weird kite composition where they just got poked to death. So same bans this game from SBE. We're keeping the same sides for this one, Echo and Thresh. And Ezreal, what a great ban.
I think that's a pretty good ban. He's pretty strong right now with that Rune Glaive item that he can buy.
That he can with the Smite.
And use the Glaive of Runes.
So that means they're not going to get a Gragas or a Ryze ban. Although, why would you even ban Gragas in the last one? It's not like you were super concerned about Ketch's abilities.
Yeah, I don't think any jungle ban's really worth it against SBE right now, honestly.
So what'll it be, Gragas or Ryze? If KT is smart, they will ban Ryze because Soul actually did have a good performance on Ryze. And not the Gragas because KT will still guaranteed get a good jungler in that situation.
You know, I think it's smart for SBE to be focusing Peekaboo in their bans as well. They're going to ban the Rumble, all right?
I quit. I quit, though.
All right, goodbye. I'll solo cast it. Wouldn't be the first time. And they grab the Ryze, yeah.
I don't understand the priority on Rumble in this match. It's not like Soul has had some earth-shattering Rumble games this season. He's had some Rumble games. They were thoroughly average, and that was it. So Someday came in with some very poor Rumble itemization in the last game. Now they have to deal with the Ryze, which is another ticking time bomb like the Rune Glaive Ezreal. They're going to take away the Gragas. I think taking away the Alistar is super smart.
Yeah, I mean, Peekaboo's been focused pretty heavily in bans and pretty heavily in the game, too, this whole time. So giving him Alistar is going to make him feel a bit better, I would imagine.
Also, they were very reliant on Secret's Alistar engages in these games, which he was
true.
pulling off, even in Game 1 that they lost. Even when they were getting wrecked in Game 1, he was still doing good work on that champion. And you could see that if they weren't behind, he would actually be making a very big difference. And he certainly showed up in Game 2.
It does give Rek'Sai over to catch again, but I don't think they're too
you have the Gragas,
worried about
fine.
that. So what do you grab here? Support here? Keep things as hidden as you can for as long as you can?
It just depends on if you actually want to have that Ryze top. You can save it as a bit of a surprise, where you're going to put it, but the AD carry is probably safer here. Take the Sivir with the Ryze. That's actually kind of important for you to have.
Yeah, because, I mean, if you give your opponent Sivir to go with that Alistar, that's pretty dangerous. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Azir for Assassin.
Well, this shows their hand a bit, so now we know definitively that the Ryze is going into the top lane no matter what. But what does KT have at his champion pool? We saw them first pick Azir in the first game, and they decided to take Victor into the Ezreal in the last game, but Victor does have some problems against Azir in the laning phase.
Well, Arrow played a fairly solid game on Kog'Maw last time around. Had some CSing issues, but he didn't get killed a whole lot.
No, got the first blood in the last game, too. So we could see a very similar composition from KT. Not really sure you need to take the Victor now. I was going to say, take the Maokai right now. They have a huge front line to deal with SBE, and SBE still lacks any kind of engage here.
Yeah, it's looking like a really good protect the Cog comp, and you can maybe add a bit more poke into that as well, too.
So how does SBE engage in these fights? They kind of need Sivir so that Ryze has another movement ability. If it's not a mid lane Ryze, he's not going to have that ghost to catch up to people to land that first big rune prison. So they're kind of pigeonholed into taking the Sivir here, which isn't going to be very good against the Kog'Maw in lane.
Yeah, I mean, it still seems like it'd be the most useful later on in the game, though. Maybe another lane swap, perhaps?
Yeah, you could lane swap here, but arguably that would set the Ryze up for some pretty devastating denial or possible dives in the early game. So they're going to go for the Corki instead. Okay, so they're not even going to try and engage. Basically, this is a kite composition that SBE has just pivoted to with Janna Corki. But they are not going to have any engage. Any. Besides either an Azir ult initiation or a flash Ryze W. or a flash on Burrow. None of these are great engages except for the Azir ult.
Now, if you're KT, what if you just take Sivir here and put Kog'Maw in the mid lane?
You would be a little bit worried about ramp time, and Kog'Maw's going to get denied a lot early thanks to the Sand Soldiers for farming. So, it's possible. It's possible to do something like that, but I'm not sure that is going to be the way of things. Korea hasn't been playing AP Cog in a really long time. Still gets played in the LCS regions, but doesn't really get played in Korea.
Yeah.
The Victor is just another high-damage champion. They can try the composition they failed to operate properly last game, except now they actually have a front line. They don't have a Janna anymore. They don't have a Rumble anymore. And they have that disruption from the Gragas. I mean, this is a very strong, very meta composition that they've managed to put together for themselves. Much different than last game, where their first round of the draft consisted of Rumble and Evelynn, neither of which are really very high-priority picks.
Yeah, looks really good. So Spenu has the ability to kite, but can they stop the siege from KT? Can they get the siege going themselves?
Well, they basically have to win by convincing KT that KT wants to engage on them. But, they've got – KT also has good poke. They're going to be matching the poke with Kog'Maw and Victor that Azir and Corki can put out. So, I don't know. I think KT's just going to win a poke war, and then Spenu's never going to be able to engage on them.
It really does seem like Spenu's just going to get sieged to death this game. We'll see, though. Stranger things have happened. Hey, KT even won a game or lost a game against Spenu once. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Shocking. Very surprising. Yeah. Well, there's our rosters for our final game in our first best of 3. Didn't think we'd get here between KT and Spenu Sonic Boom, but KT a bit sloppy today. Spenu Sonic Boom looking really good. So it's time to go into game 3 and see who can take it. A crucial game for KT. Spenu with the opportunity here to play a pretty major spoiler potentially in terms of playoff implications.
Yes, that could be absolutely huge if Spenu takes down KT in this game 3. That may well keep KT out of the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case.
We will find out as the fans chow down the pizza. We're going to chow down on some good League of Legends. It's time to get in the game and see who takes it. All right. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Spenu Sonic Boom versus KT Rolster in our third game of the day so far, and KT sweating a little bit, and they will be, even if they win this one, because not getting the game scores from the 2-0 could be a really big deal.
Yeah, we'll have to keep track of that and see how it unfolds. It may mean nothing. Especially if they can keep on winning best of 3s. But if they have a little bit of a dry spell and somebody is able to catch up to them in that third place position, they are going to maybe have some pretty big issues.
Certainly could. Ah, yes. Pizza for everyone.
Pizza from Kespa.
That's right. Yes, they love Kespa pizza. It's good. Rave reviews. Well, looks like we do have the lane swap. Coming in from KT, actually. So we'll see how much they can deny this rise from Soul. Oops. Nope, just kidding. He's building things up.
He's just building up his passive.
His timing was so far off. He did it 20 seconds early.
Calm down there, Doa. It's fine. He's going to get those Q stacks going. There he goes. Going to get another one.
Oh, boy. How exciting.
For the leash. So Alistair coming in early here. A freeze will be done by Arrow and by Nuclear in the bottom side.
Now, Secret got himself, or Peekaboo got himself killed doing that on Janna last game. We'll see if Secret fares much better.
He didn't die.
Oh, he didn't? Oh, yeah, that's right. He didn't die. Got himself nearly dead.
Now, just trying to be as annoying as possible, Secret here. Getting some good damage out.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Knockups here. Damage on to score. 2 flashes already taken by Spenu Sonic Boom.
Yeah, the problem is that what's the sacrifice for that? Are Someday and Score really going to need those flashes? They also burned the Ignite. So yes, they slowed down the jungling. That's nice, but it comes at a cost. And the cost is that probably that freeze is now messed up in the bottom side. So we'll have to check and see how that freeze does. In the meantime, Someday can just teleport right back into lane and see if he did not get the blue buff. But he's going to have an easier time farming now as a result of that.
Secret actually going back early on to pick up a little bit more.
So that maneuver, you know, Doa, it looks good, but Someday now actually going to be ahead of Nuclear in levels and experience because he was able just to get the heal up and get back down into the bottom side so early. He's picking up a lot of CS too.
Yeah, he is.
As Score goes to take the red buff, but it did slow down Score just a tad bit. Double jungling still going on for Spenu as Peekaboo sticks around in top. Looks like this siege is actually going to be broken here. Seems like KT is now starting to push forward. They have a cannon minion that goes down, but they've got some good denial on Soul so far, even though this wave has built up pretty significantly, and that means Secret is there in the top side to help out, make sure that Soul can farm some of this up under the turret.
He shouldn't have too much of a hard time doing that.
We'll take some poke from the Bioarcane Barrage, though. That's kind of unavoidable.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, gets a good amount of CS, though. Farms quite well so far.
Yeah, so it all ends up being about even in the end, minus those flashes and ignites, and just seems pretty unlikely that we're going to get much in this game going before those summoners are back up once more. Score trying to take the very safe route, smiting the wolves. Catch taking a look through the topside jungle. Maybe he can make a play from behind here, but those are not the players that don't have flash.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to work out. Yep. Cat's just going back into river for now.
Yeah, with Score back, you don't want to play too aggressively. Instead, just wait for him to come over to your side where you're going to feel a little bit safer. Proceed from there.
Wow, Someday forcing Nuclear pretty far back here.
Yeah, he really got control of this lane early, partially because of Spenu's actions. Missed the cannon, though.
Oh, that hurts. Bummer. Well, Maokai certainly did, Christmas Maokai certainly did receive the gifts last game, so Someday's going to try it out himself this time around.
The gifts were put under the tree by KT for Spenu.
Pretty much. Or the tree puts the gifts under him with that skin. That's scary. Catch might come in, but Score's right there. Gonna get spotted with that tremor sense, obviously.
Still not really a fight that they can take at this point in time. Nuclear is too chunked out to actually play aggressively. You just gotta know, Nuclear just gets out of there immediately with the Valkyrie. Doesn't want anything bad to befall him.
Yep, wow, Peekaboo getting really chunked down by this Rise along with Secret's Janna. Ignite was used too, so just really trying to push him out of lane.
Look at the difference. Look at the difference between the CS between Nuclear and Arrow. That's really the big story right here, is because even though the top laners ended up even, Someday all by himself in the bottom side was able to put so much pressure down onto Nuclear that he forced him pretty convincingly off of the waves, and also lost some CS when they did that invade, and now the flash is almost there again. So, I mean, Someday is doing a really good job of denying the Corki, which in turn is going to delay his power spike, and that means Arrow may get the Trinity Force first in the end. But it is a bit of a race, of course. Soul going to be scary on this Rise if he can ever get in range to do damage. That's the thing with KT, is that how is this Rise actually going to engage onto anybody who doesn't want to be engaged on, i.e. is a tank like Maokai or Alistar or Gragas.
So you really think it's whoever gets the siege started first is going to have a big edge?
I just think, well, I think KT has a much more versatile composition in as much as they can match the poke from Spenu, coming in both mid and the AD carry position, but there's just no engage on Spenu. There's none. Unless Sawson gets some sort of insane ult engage where Rise can actually get in close to the carries. How is this Rise, especially without Ghost, especially without Sivir Ultimate, ever supposed to deal damage to Victor or Kog'Maw? It just won't happen. He will never be in range. Because if he starts to get in range, well, there's an explosive cast, there's a twisted advance, there's a headbutt, just not going to get there.
Now Spenu trying to steal this blue buff. We'll see if they get to. Doesn't look. Oh, yeah, they did get it. They did.
Catch got it with the smite.
Wow. Spenu certainly putting the hurt on that blue buff. Nagne suffering a bit for that. Up in top lane, though, Arrow continues to get lots of farm, but Nuclear's kind of maintained the gap right now. He hasn't really fallen behind anymore since the last time we mentioned it.
All right, here we go. A few people in the mid lane. They're just trying to make their way over to the enemy blue buff to attempt to contest it because they do have damage there, and Soul is still trying to scale with that tier. Probably not the best time to fight with this Rise, especially since Kog'Maw already has a Phage.
Yeah, it's a bit risky. Blue buff getting very, very low. Sasson did get it. Huh.
So Spenu manages to kite out the blue buff long enough that KT cannot contest it in time. So they get 2 blues, denying Nagne. Nicely played by Spenu. Yeah. They're definitely playing better tonight than we've seen them play. I mean, the first game accepted, but that was a very weird situation that occurred in the first game that was punished very hard by KT.
Yeah. Yeah, things have tightened up quite a bit since then for Spenu Sonic Boom. And yeah, they're looking really good.
Well, let's not go crazy, though.
Well, they're looking really good compared to how they've looked before. Well, catch coming in at Peekaboo. There's a Rune Prison. Peekaboo tries to get out right away, uses that exhaust. Still make it. They had to burn the Summoner heal there.
Yeah, no flash used, actually, by either Arrow or Peekaboo. Someday immediately gets onto Nuclear, unknowing that there's no jungle help coming for him. And so he can just close the gap and start bouncing him around with that Arcane Smash.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be curious to see if Sasson can make the plays on this Azir, too. We've seen what Coco can do on Azir. We might see it again in our next match of the night, but
I'm still not a fan of relying on that as your main form of initiation.
Yeah, it's definitely risky.
I think Coco's Azir is amazing, and
if you can do it.
I still don't believe that that is a good idea if you want a consistent way to open team fights.
We'll tell that to Coco.
Maybe I will. Be
Maybe
like, Coco, make somebody else on your team play an initiator.
You've got your opportunity here. Coming up right after this game, you can go into the booth and tell him.
Just go up to Coach Son. Hey, stop relying on Azir for your primary initiation.
I mean, he's really good at it and has done it a lot, but no more.
Someday it will backfire.
It makes you worry too much.
It does.
Your heart rate just goes up.
I know. I get unnecessary spikes in my blood pressure from watching CJ games.
See, well, that's most CJ fans, but like you let things get a little bit too much under your skin. The excitement, you like things very technical, very strategic, very boring. Mm-hmm. Just because you can't handle the hype, huh?
You mean exciting strategically? They're not boring.
Exciting strategically means boring. It's synonymous. If you look up strategically exciting in the
just like
dictionary,
just like our game 1 where there were 3 kills for KT for forever in that game, yet they were still getting more and more and more of a gold lead.
Yep, not fun to watch. Not too exciting for me.
It was great to watch score.
Hey man, whatever floats your Rek'Sai.
There's no pool party Rek'Sai in this game.
It's true, but the memories are still fresh.
Catch plays boring normal Rek'Sai.
Oh, not even Eternium Rek'Sai.
Whatever.
Sad.
I think that's going to... Is it Battlecast Rek'Sai? Is it Eternium Rek'Sai?
It's Eternium, yeah. Battlecast is like the metal kind of stuff. Eternium is like the red glowing sort of stuff.
Whatever. They look exactly the same to me, Noah.
See, I was an art major. I've got an eye for these design type
things.
But
you do not have the words to accurately describe it.
I got enough, apparently.
No, because I still don't know the difference.
What am I supposed to say? It's like
red,
kind of
glowy
red and
stuff,
black and shiny, and yeah. If you looked at it, you get the idea.
I see. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Soul is very gankable by this Maokai Gragas combo. He could just straight up die at any time.
He's got a flash, so he might be able to get out of the first one, but
yeah, maybe.
Uh-oh.
Dog Day's coming up.
Operation Kill Soul.
Here we go.
Operation Soul Destroy. Oh, it's failed already. Oh.
Wow. Soul really playing with range nicely.
Yeah.
Reading the telegraph of somebody's walking up into that minion wave, so they're not actually going to get that chance.
Well, this gives Spenu a chance to clear out the vision, too, by Dragon. Wow, Secret taking some damage. I feel like KT could have set up an easier Dragon than a big elaborate gank in top there.
Well, I mean, it's still going to be a risk as long as nobody's actually been pushed out in the bottom side to go for a Dragon that early. But as long as they have maintained position on Dragon, because Spenu lacks engage, then they're going to be fine.
Well, KT coming back down now. Spenu did get 5 Dragons against him last game. I don't think KT Rollster wants that to happen again.
Nogday finally getting a blue buff this game, was denied his first one. So Peekaboo will just recall, head back, and Sunday
here we go. Sunday comes back in with the twist advance, pushes Soul towards the turret. Looks like he'll be able to get out with that, sustain the tankiness. I almost got excited about a top lane fight for a moment there. Oh, Catch could stop this.
Grayseeker?
Yep.
There we go. Nicely done. Catch is trying to delay him as long as possible, so he's going to lose CS on this turret and or force a teleport. But can he actually TP into this? He's got to be really nervous about TPing in while Soul and Catch are just standing there.
I don't think you'd want to do that, yeah. Meanwhile, Nagne gets some decent damage done to the Tier 1 in mid, and they're just going to take this Tier 1 in top lane.
Yep, that was a great play. Catch's delay, and the fact that he was committing to going for the turret means that, I mean, Peekaboo actually does get some time here to allow Nagne to get a few autos, but they just basically take the tower for free and zone Someday off of it, make him too nervous. Now, they can go for the Dragon right now.
I think they should.
Oh, maybe not. Void Rush is there. The teleport also still ready for Rise, but I think you have to try and make a play onto the Dragon. And they're just going to back off. So Gragas went in, took the red buff instead. Looks like KT playing very passively this game.
Yeah, looking a bit scared. This is not what we expected at all from this match. That's for sure.
Well, I think they're just playing safe. They know that if they just play conservatively, eventually Spenu is going to make a mistake compared to them.
I'm just surprised they needed to in the first place.
Well, they still are waiting for their timings, right? They don't have to go in right now. The Maokai could use a Righteous Glory here, some more tankiness. They're still waiting on that Trinity Force. There's reasons to hold back. Don't need to go in swinging right from level 1.
Sure. Oh, Catch is going to go for Dragon.
They know this is happening.
Yeah, they do. I guess they're just going to allow it.
I mean, they could literally just teleport Maokai there.
They have to have their camera on Dragon to see it's happening, though. You can't tell this is happening from the minimap.
Yeah, no one actually is looking at this.
Yeah.
They're finally pinging it. It's too late.
Oh, wow. Ha! Sneaky Dragon from Catch.
Wow, that's...
For once, Catch was not caught.
That is pretty bad from KT, that you actually have eyes on that objective and no one is checking it. You have to assume that there can be a Rek'Sai coming over the wall. Score just wants to go into the jungle. Looks like he didn't get the red buff earlier like I thought. He went back and got his, just was doing some standard counter jungling. Here we go.
Here we go. Yeah, on the Peekaboo. Nuclear takes a lot of damage though. Score zoning people out. Secret pushing everybody back, but it pushes people towards Nuclear. Arrow can't quite get him though.
Here we
First
go.
blood goes to Nagne.
Nice.
Meanwhile, there's a double kill for Nagne after that. He comes down, makes a difference, and now they're trying to go after Catch.
As using the Chaos Storm for some zoning, Nagne can just run straight out with a speed boost from his Q. Soul just didn't show up to that fight.
Yeah.
Neither did Someday, so no teleports, but Nagne with a great ghost roam down to the bottom side to pick up the double kill and comes over the wall. Really nice flash play from Score on the body slam. So that's 2 kills over to Victor.
That is definitely not what Saucin wants to see in his lane, but Catch getting a lot of damage done to the mid lane turret actually in all this. In fact, he may just get it. He will get it.
Wow, Catch has been playing really well around turret pressure this game. If he's going to get 2 towers like this for free, that is absolutely huge. Now he could... Oh! Secret's going to get it, but this might... No, not going to be a fight.
Nice whirlwind.
KT doesn't have the Chaos Storm back up yet to follow up on that kill.
Huh. So that's a 2-turret lead and a 1 Dragon lead already for Spenu Sonic Boom. A little bit of a gold lead as well. Peekaboo getting some deep wards in. Taking out some Rek'Sai tunnels. So got to be careful, though. Nuclear is right there. Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto Peekaboo. Ouch.
Well, he's got some sustain, so does know where the pink wards are, gets information about a lot of members. Now, somebody's going to get caught.
Yeah, Soul trying to do that, going in with the Rune Prison yet again. Someday, Twisted advance over to the Raptors to get out of range. Nagne was coming up, so that may have just ended up being a trade anyway if Someday wouldn't have been able to escape.
Rise powering up, though. He's got the Rod of Ages, and no one has been able to punish him yet. He's starting to come away with a nice, healthy gold lead against the Maokai, as Someday has fewer and fewer ways to deal with him. Has to go for a cowl just to stay in the 1v1.
Wow.
Score wants to make a play, but they do get seen via warding in the tri-brush. Now they're trying to push very hard right now. Arrow does have a Vamp Scepter up on his opponents.
Well, looks like KT is going to be able to take almost take a turret catch. Comes in with his ultimate, though. They're going to chase. There's a knock up onto Peekaboo. There's a stun. No flash for Peekaboo. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Has to use that ultimate to get away.
Interesting that Arrow would face tank that tower.
Not the best idea, maybe. Really wanted to get it. And can they defend this one now? Looks like they can. It's still got quite a bit of health left, so should be okay.
Yeah. Arrow back up too. At least he has the Vamp Scepter, so just waits patiently for the wave to come to him, then takes it out so that he is not under so much threat of being dove. However, this Azir is playing very aggressively. Sasin forcing Victor back into the jungle out of the mid lane while he knows that he's trying to get this blue buff. So Catches, with so much pressure in mid and bottom, Catch is able just to sit there without any repercussions. They get a bunch of damage down onto the tower.
Yeah. Wow. Well, KT barely defends their bottom bottom tower.
Well, I wonder if KT will get an earlier Aegis this game, considering they are playing against Corki, Azir, and Rise. You'd think that this might be just a little bit important.
I think that's a pretty good idea.
And it was woefully neglected in the last game.
Yeah. Probably something for Score to consider picking up.
So there you go. Gets another blue buff, so Nagne may have some more pressure, and they are going to take a tower to more or less even things out when it comes to the global gold. And now all sights set in a minute and a half on this next dragon. It should be an interesting one, depending on what Spenu can do and how much they want to commit with the Rise. The fact that they got that first dragon means that they're not so worried about this next one. They don't have to go for it. Rise is already in a very good place.
Yeah.
And there's no threat of KT getting to those 5 dragon stacks anytime soon because the first dragon went down so early.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, Spenu's got 6 dragons in a row now. There goes the bottom turret in favor of Spenu as well, too. So they've gotten all 3 outer turrets down. Someday lurking about in the mid lane. Sasin just farming well.
I really have to wonder what is so insane about Soul's Rumble that it caused this much priority away from clearly power pick champions like Rise and Ezreal.
Yeah.
To take over this series. Why did Someday have to play Rise? Why did they have to ban Rumble on the red side? Why couldn't they just ban Rise? Because I've seen Soul's Rumble and it doesn't terrify me.
Maybe it was just an off game.
Off couple of games in terms of pick and ban priority. Just bizarre, frankly. KT definitely has a better composition than they had last time, but
they're in a good position to take out this next dragon, too.
And fortunately for them, again, Rise is going to have a very, very hard time against this team in the late game.
Yeah.
As long as they get to the point where they can really start grouping as 5.
Well, it's just hard to imagine Rise, getting in onto the damage dealers for KT late game.
Yeah, or anybody, really.
Yeah, if they build MR, he's going to be pretty marginalized. Him and Azir both.
Looks like Score is going for a fast Aegis this time, so they have fixed their wacky itemization from game number 2. Definitely building a lot smarter this time. Someday should be just going straight for a Spirit Visage.
We'll see. Spenu's managed to maneuver their way in front of the dragon again, and they've got great warding down.
Soul also just walking from the top side. They have good wards to see where this Maokai is.
Yeah, and this all happened in like the last 30 seconds or so. Spenu just coming in, getting all the wards, and they're going for that second dragon.
TP.
Teleport coming in for Someday right now. They might have to back off. Nagne coming from the side, but he can't go too aggressive because all of Spenu is right there.
Yeah, he's now cut off, and you don't really want to be a flank victor unless you're GBM and doing the ultimate surprise attack.
Yeah, that worked for him. Once
it did. They're really too far spread out right now. This is the problem with having that mid turret already down as KT gets there. It's too easy for Spenu to control that choke point between the mid lane and the river.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Actually,
if Victor
Nagne
can sneak
slipped
down
through.
now.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
He actually made it through. They scared Spenu off enough with the poke from Arrow that he was able to make it through. That does allow Sassen to push the lane. Spenu. This Dragon's going down. Can Catch come in and get it? They find Someday. They prevent the flank. Dragon getting very low. Catch going right in. They don't get the Dragon. It does go to KT. Soul comes in. Everyone gets knocked back by Secret, but KT's looking very good in this team fight. Catching a little bit of trouble as Someday goes into the back lines. Nobody dead on KT just yet. So 2 kills and a Dragon. That's more like what KT was looking for.
And Peekaboo really did nail the combo so that they could get the necessary damage down. But that's part of the issue is Spenu. Soul did pretty much nothing during that fight. He was just CC'd forever and then blasted by Arrow and Nagne, dropping that Chaos Storm very early. Now they're going to get just an Azir turret too, but that was also a split call from Spenu because Sassen is still working his way over. Now watch this. Just like a very convincing engage. And Someday and Peekaboo, they're just taking all the damage. They're already tanky enough to deal with this. And Nagne just gets free shots onto Catch because they have no way to get onto the back line.
It was not
there's no threat for Kog'Maw for Victor.
It was really not a good flash ultimate for Secret either. It really got pretty much nothing done. Probably should have saved that one.
Yeah, in fact, it arguably hurt his team because he put Alistar and Maokai further into his carries.
Yep, and then he didn't have the heal to push back when everyone else engaged.
But basically, as soon as that engage comes in from KT and they start the team fight, they can just turn around, kite back like we saw a little bit, wait for all of Spenu to use their limited forms of CC and then just walk forward. Nagne was just going nuts in that fight in terms of damage because no one was able to touch him.
Well, 3-0-1 now on that Victor, and he's off to a really good start. Picked up a very fast Void Staff after he got the Abyssal Scepter.
I don't even know why he has that Void Staff. That is not a good use of money.
I mean, there is a locket on the Spenu side.
Yeah, but he has an Abyssal. He does not need a Void Staff right now. No. That is ridiculous. There's no other MR on the team besides a locket, and you're already going to have enough flat penetration to pretty effectively deal with that item. So getting percent penetration is just incredibly inefficient.
Well, at least it gives you AP too.
I guess. Could have gotten literally anything. Probably should have gotten a very fast Lich Bane, actually, this game in particular, because that's a little boost of speed, considering that he's going to be untouched and that he's going to get a lot of auto attacks down in a team fight because he's going to be close enough without actually being in danger would be quite good. But
I'll see what he can do with it. Spenu pushing up the mid lane a little bit. And wow, some action onto Secret. Knock up, headbutt, pulverized. Secret getting caught there. Uses his ultimate. Not really going to help him too much. He's still going to go down. And KT, there's the ultimate from Peekaboo. Thought they might want to continue engaging, but turning around. So Peekaboo kind of wasting his ult there.
Yep. And I'll see. They may try and bait a Baron. Well, no, Someday's just a tad too low. Someday just has to get back into lane to catch the wave that Soul is bringing to his doorstep, but Soul not using his TP right there. They caught somebody out, and even though they had the TP advantage, they couldn't really do much. Arrow, in the meantime, will take out the top turret, so clean turret kill, and he'll walk away. Now they're going to try and teleport.
Soul trying to come in onto Arrow here, but Peekaboo's right there with the pulverize. He walked right into it. Score coming in. They're going to catch him, throwing him against the wall. There's the exhaust as well. And Soul, very tanky, taking a lot of damage. Whoa, he gets the kill on the Arrow. Double kill as well as he takes out Score. That is insane. A double kill for Soul. Rise is pretty strong right now.
I don't know about Peekaboo headbutting him closer to the Kog'Maw in that situation.
The
considering
pulverize was good, but yeah.
Yeah, the headbutt afterwards, really questionable from Peekaboo. Still a really dangerous Baron to do with the Chaos Storm about to start swirling on their flanks.
Oh, if they can get in. Sasa doing a good job of zoning here.
Where's Maokai? There he is.
Coming in now. Nagne still needs to get there, though.
Oh,
Baron getting
geez.
low. Oh, and Someday, he got the Baron. Nagne comes in for a lot of damage. There's a double kill for Someday as well. And Spenu has made a huge error. Oh, man, Sasan trying to clean stuff up. He's able to finally take down Someday, but they lost the Baron. They lost a lot of team members.
That
Wow.
was so risky with their low HP. They're all getting shredded here, and Maokai just going to come in, and I don't even know how he gets this.
He just autos it or something.
No,
his ult. His ult, I think. Yeah.
His ult got it. So, and then Sol is on the flank here, but meantime, they hit a huge Chaos Storm on 4 low members because Nagne was just sitting there while they were all clumped up with a bunch of Magic Shred. What an awful decision from Spenu.
No kidding. Wow.
I mean, even if they had gotten the Baron, it was still bad.
Spenu just getting a little bit too excited there.
Okay, now he's going to build Lichbane. Whatever. I'm done with KT's itemization in this series. It confuses and alarms me.
Does it disturb you even?
No, I don't feel very disturbed.
You gonna go home and cry about it? You gonna cry? Cry, Monty? Cry about that itemization?
Nope.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Because if you need to, I understand. I'm here for you, man. Well, Dragon up in 19 seconds. You got to wonder if the morale for Spinner has just been shattered, though, after that.
Probably isn't too good. And with that, Dragon should be number 2. We have a very late Dragon game this time.
Yeah. 1-1 on Dragon so far. KT wants this one. They want it bad.
Yeah, they only have a couple members who actually have the Baron buff, though, so it's not like they're so much stronger.
I believe it's only one. I think it's only Peekaboo, actually. Yeah, nobody else seems to have it.
Yep.
Everyone was dead or either died in the fight.
Oh, Dragon
Whirlwind
reset.
comes in. That's right. Yeah, KT having a little bit of a struggle with this one. The poke is still good. Score doing it. Catch comes in. Score still gets the Dragon. Catch is going to get taken down. The rest of the fight happening. Peekaboo goes in for the headbutt. Pulverize on Assassin. Wow, that's a big Chaos Storm. A lot of damage coming in from Nagne. He's going to grab a killer too. Secret taken out by Arrow in the back lines, and that's another double for Nagne after that Dragon. Only Nuclear making it out.
After Catch goes into the pit, there's no more initiation. So you just see that as soon as they turn on to Catch right there, they can just immediately go on to the rest of the team. Nagne even flashed forward to kill the Rise because there's just zero threat. I mean, Spennu's composition, sure, they had a nice skirmish, and you could skirmish very effectively with this comp, but you in the 5v5 fights, there's just way too much crowd control from the KT front line and just nothing there from Spenu.
Yeah, well, KT's just going to push right through here and go for an inhibitor. Spenu, there's a knock-up on the score. Needs to be a little bit careful there. Yeah, KT maybe even overextending slightly themselves as well after that.
Well, they're just going to get out of there. Even though the inhibitor gets down to about 10%, they don't want to overcommit. That is the right call. They can always just come back for it in a couple of minutes now that they know how well they can do in these 5v5s. Just watch this. So Ketch is going to get out on the side, but they just have no way to engage on this backline. There were 2 of the tanks were in the pit, and they couldn't even commit to killing Victor. And then Nagne just has the balls to flash forward into 2 of them, and his damage is huge as this Victor, but you should not be able to do that kind of play like Nagne did.
Well, he had a huge Death Ray Chaos Storm combo on 3 members of the team that were hit by the headbutt pulverizer from Peekaboo. That was a nice little wombo combo from KT.
Yeah, you could say Peekaboo did a nice job zoning, and that's true, but when Gragas and Maokai are inside the pit and Victor is standing there poking you, you need to have a way to actually kill him. Because you can't just be allowed to do that with a support ulting, with an ulting Alistar.
You'd hope so, right?
Right. So just these team fights are actually very easy for KT.
Well, that was kind of the intent with the comp, I suppose. And now KT with a very comfortable 5K gold lead. With this type of comp against the type of comp that Spenu has, it should be fairly simple to close it out.
Yeah, especially now that Nagne has the Lich Bane. His
Yeah.
consistent DPS in these fights is going to be really, really big.
Should be nice. Yep. And Maokai, Christmas Maokai, putting the gifts under him again in this game. He decides, I want nuclear for Christmas.
Well, he could have whoever he wants, really.
Pretty much.
At this point, just absolutely a tanky monster. Nothing really they can do, and especially 2 Righteous Glories on KT. Peekaboo opting for, interesting, he didn't go for the coin this game. Well, catch.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Catch trying to get away. Makes it out. A little bit of skirmishing. But can Spenu defend this inhibitor? That's the tough part. Sassen's got a lot of zoning with this Azir, but it's going to be pretty tough if KT really wants it. Get out of here.
Go back to your base, catch.
Wants to protect that ward.
That ward cannot see the other ward.
Wow, you're right. Just
Otherwise,
around the
Peekaboo would
corner,
be
I guess.
clearing that.
You'd think so.
Azir turret goes down as the final line of defense, just buying as much time as they can. So what KT should do is just say screw it and start trying to bait the Baron.
It looks like that's what they're doing as they move up through the jungle of Spenu. Not a lot of words around Baron, but KT knows exactly where Spenu is right now, so not a big concern.
Yeah, they also have a very nice minion wave in top developing. Looks like that'll just be cleared immediately, considering there is no immediate Baron threat. So this Azir tower going to be falling pretty soon.
Well, they certainly want to take it out.
Everyone just setting up for this. Crab going to go into the hands of KT with 30 seconds remaining. They have prevented any kind of wards on the objective by Spenu. They have a scrying orb, but as soon as that's gone, they will be blind. No mass recalls from KT, just very patient vision play around the Baron, making sure that there isn't any chance that someone slips in there into the river for a ward.
KT really playing out these few minutes pretty safely.
Yeah, much
Now
more
they're going in.
methodically.
Yeah. So they stole the last Baron. Are they going to be able to take this one cleanly?
Well, where is the orb? There's the orb, so now they know they aren't doing it. So now that is usually the point where you start trying to take the Baron.
KT really wants to fight, it looks like.
Well, that would make things a lot easier. They certainly have the engage to fight, which is why we see Spenu falling back so far. They know if they get anywhere near these 2 Righteous Glories, they are going to get caught.
Now you can just turn around onto Baron. And they can really bait this all day, too. They're going to start it.
Yeah, they can. Somebody's just going to take 0 damage from this objective.
Nuclear is pretty far away, too.
Well, catches there. Actually managed to sneak around the side to put himself in range of a burrow steal. And Peekaboo took a lot of poke.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
It's going to push up top lane, I suppose. Go for that tier 2, maybe. But it's a rush down mid for Spenu.
I don't know if this is very smart. They're just going to give up
Baron
Baron
for this, yeah. Well, they think they can get there in time. We'll see if they can zone. They get the tier 2. Catches right there. Wants to try to steal it himself here, but Peekaboo zoning. He's got that ultimate as well. Baron getting very, very low. Goes down in favor of KT. And here's the fight. Spenu in a little bit of trouble. They're all clumped up behind things, but they poked out KT fairly well. Score's going to have a hard time getting through try. They're going to pop that Righteous Glory to try to get a little bit more mobility. Sassen over the wall. KT bottled up, a little bit low health. They're having to kind of kite this one out.
I don't know if they actually have the choice. Spenu, I don't know if they can get onto.
I don't know, man.
KT,
It's a lot of damage on the catch.
Poked right here.
That's right, Someday going in on the catch now. There we go. Headbutt Pulverize in to score. Score a little bit low. Soul low. Arrow takes him out. Arrow, though, trades. Nuclear gets a kill as well. Two come in for Spenu. KT chasing through. They're going to get the AD carry. Nice Pulverize on the Nuclear, and Peekaboo's going to pick up a Bloodthirsty one as well. Knock up onto Someday, though. Spenu's still chasing, and they're actually going to come out of this fight ahead. Over the wall, and there's a kill for Sassen. Wow, Spenu really punishing this Baron.
I do not know why Rise keeps getting bounced on top of the Kog'Maw. Arrow is having such a difficult time this game because his teammates keep putting the Rise next to him.
It's not a good idea.
just be a front line and keep Ryze tied up so that Ryze just deals damage to the tanks instead of putting a ridiculous amount of damage onto the Kog'Maw in all these skirmishes.
Spennu's going to get another dragon out of this as well. Oh, boy.
Well, I mean, realistically, it doesn't really matter. There's still 2 members with the Baron buff. There's an open inhibitor that they can take with the Baron as soon as Someday actually respawns, but it's not a very good team fight from KT. If they had just stuck together and walked backwards down the lane, KT, they could have just kited KT forever.
Yeah.
See, watch this. You don't split up right here. First off, Victor is awkwardly positioned. Where is the front line? And then, what? Score just bounces Soul right into Arrow. And then they have to move him again away. And this, meanwhile, Nagne is just left on the side. If you just have Arrow and Nagne together with your front lane, they just kept walking down the lane towards the base of Spennu, they would have been fine. Instead, this happens.
Well, they ended up in a very awkward position. And Spennu took full advantage of it.
You don't really have to be worried about those minion waves at this late stage of the game. Another Aegis for Someday, so double lock it. That's actually a smart decision in this particular situation.
Well, they're going to go in onto this inhibitor turret. Azir turret there first with the Janna shield, so it's going to take a little while to power through it.
That's a huge minion wave, though.
Yeah, with the Baron buff, they shouldn't have much of a trouble. Or maybe I spoke too soon.
Oh, they'll get it. I mean, there you have Baron empowered siege minions, and they have Kog'Maw there with his W. So there you go. Goodbye.
Well, going after the inhibitor now. Another wave coming in. This has taken a while for KT, but they're slowly grinding their way in, and now they should be able to take that inhibitor unless Spennu goes for some sort of miracle engage. We'll see if they do. Sasson looking like he may want to come around the side, but nope. KT gets the inhibitor. They get out. That's going to help quite a bit. There's still 6,000 gold ahead, even after that last fight.
Yeah, now they could just push down the remaining tier 2s, so they're in a very comfortable position to close. They also have a banner of command, so not even double lock it. They're just going to be using the banner
okay.
to create more siege pressure.
Makes sense.
And now we're going to have a pause.
Oh, good. I was hoping the suspense would continue to build. Looks like Sasson needs a drink of water. Okay.
You don't have to pause for a drink of water, Sasson.
No, it's got to be something else. Oh, maybe Sasson does need to pause for a drink of water. He was parched. The Shurima Desert stuff got a little bit too real for him, I guess.
He started role-playing. He was not drinking water while he was playing Azir.
He's like, I've been trapped under a sand tomb for thousands of years. I need water. All right. Are you hydrated now? We've had bathroom breaks. We've had water breaks this season. Really anything goes at this point.
Actually, CJ was warned for that space bathroom
I know,
break.
yeah. That was pretty funny.
Sometimes it's just an emergency.
Hey, when you got to go, you got to go.
That's why your team gets penalized, because you have to think ahead about your bodily functions, Doa.
That's true. You know, sometimes you drink a whole liter of Mountain Dew right before a 50-minute game.
Wow, that is disgusting. Who does that?
I fear many people do. Yep.
If you drink a whole liter of Mountain Dew at once, viewers, I think you are disgusting.
It is not a good idea. I do not recommend it. I mean, we've all had those. Well, maybe you haven't. But, I mean, we as in me and my fellow WoW nerds we've all had those nights where it's a pizza and Mountain Dew for like 12 hours. It's happened. You don't feel proud or good, but it's fun. Yeah.
Gross.
It was. It was an experience.
I was never a WoW nerd because I think that game sucks.
Well, you are in the minority because it's actually a really good game.
I'm definitely not in the minority of gamers.
No, but you're in the minority of opinions on MMOs. Well, we have no idea what the holdup is. Could be just a very long pause for dramatic effects. It almost looks like Sasson's arm was bothering him. Honestly.
It looks like it's actually something going on in the KT booth.
Yeah. Huh.
There's Pickaboo on your screen.
Let's start wildly speculating. What do you want to? I think they just got a call that like a robot has come from the future to try try to kill Sasin. Some representatives from Super Evil Megacorp there. They make Vainglory.
They do. What kind of robot is this who comes from the future? Is he
Well,
John Connor?
I don't know. I don't know. It shouldn't be a Terminator. You and I were talking about this earlier today, that like the Terminator movies makes no sense at all because, all right, if you're super advanced, hyper smart robots from the future and you send a robot back to kill some dude and it doesn't work, you don't just give up. Like literally, there should be no way that John Connor can survive ever because the robots will just keep trying.
Yeah, or just why are you sending a robot when you could just teleport a bomb to whenever you want?
Exactly. Why not just like take a plane and like nuke the hospital he's born in? Like you can.
Well, even if you didn't even have a plane, let's just say that was too big. You could just send a bomb to a specific point in time and location. It doesn't have to be a big one, just a small one.
Hey, it works in Stargate.
Yeah, exactly. Or even better idea. How about you don't fight John Connor when he's capable of resisting?
Seriously.
How about when he's an infant?
Or why don't you go back to like the Old West when there was no technology and just kill his like ancestors or something?
Why don't you just trace his lineage back like 200 years and then go back then? That robot would have kicked everybody's ass because nothing could have killed that thing.
Exactly. When like that robot shows up like somewhere in Europe where John Connor's ancestors were from and just like destroys them with a laser beam. Like, I don't know. What are his ancestors going to do? Nothing. Terminator's
They're going to die.
And why, this was a good point you brought up. Why does the T-800 keep looking older? Why do they keep making models that look older than the last ones?
That really doesn't make any sense.
It's like, you have to add some gray hair. I don't know. And why, see, the thing is, though, is maybe they did plan on sending someone back to Europe before. Maybe John Connor's ancestors are Austrian, which is why they gave it the Austrian accent. These robots from the future. And then at the last minute, they're like, let's go to America instead. They're like, well, we've still got the accent, the Austrian accent. They're like, we'll just keep it. No one will notice.
Yeah, that also is very confusing. If you want your robot to be inconspicuous at the time in which you send it back, please do not give it some incredibly obvious accent that just forces people to ask very uncomfortable questions to your robot.
Or don't make it like huge and scary so everyone notices it.
Yeah, why would you make it some giant, beefy guy? Why just make it something normal looking? You don't need Mr. Universe to kill your target, who is a teenage boy.
All you have to do is make it a hyper-intelligent, like, squirrel. Nobody suspects the squirrel, man. When that squirrel's, like, arms, when its, like, hands pop down and, like, guns come out, nobody's going to see that coming. When the tail starts spinning and it ends up being, like, a razor, like, saw blade. No, nobody's going to be able to defend John Connor against that. You don't need like a semi-truck or a shotgun or anything like that.
Well, I'm just glad I'm never going to see the new Terminator movie.
It doesn't look very good. You know.
It didn't do any of them really look good.
Yep. Daenerys from Game of Thrones is in that, though.
I don't care.
It would be. I would like it
She's
better
the worst actor in Game of Thrones. You're not even.
At some point,
she's
though,
bad in Game of Thrones.
But she would bring possibly the scene where like the dragons show up, you know, which would be really cool.
I guess it's going to be us now. I'm not wearing a jacket because I got too warm.
You're so casual. Wow. Maybe I should take off my jacket and be casual with you. But my shirt doesn't fit very well at all this season, so I'm just going to keep it on. This is as good as I can look.
We just have no idea what's going on right now. No. We're just here to talk about Terminator.
We're not really informed by things that happen, really, per se.
It's a good way to be.
I'm waiting for Boom Camera to make an appearance. This will be about the time he drops by, really. That's it's usually about it. Yep.
He's a good boom camera.
He's a good boom camera. He wants the spotlight for himself a little bit, so he likes to show up. Yeah. He knows he can show up on our stream, so he gets away with it here. He never tries to pull that on the Korean stream.
He's just too far away from the Korean stream camera, though. That's the thing.
That's true. He's a perfect place to go over ours, though. Really great place for that one there. Yep. So, I talked about Terminator, a little bit of Game of Thrones in there, boom camera.
Daenerys whoever that woman who plays Daenerys is like the worst actor on that show, though, for sure. They have a great cast for the most part, but she's just bad.
It's a bit on the bland side.
Yeah.
I agree.
How can you take a character who controls dragons and who has incited slave revolts and controls an army to overthrow a city and is supposed to be authoritative? How do you even make that character boring? Congratulations, actress. You figured it out.
Wow. You are really... You know, if any of them watch Champions, now they're never going to come and hang out at the studio. Thanks a lot, Monte Cristo.
That's not true, because here's what I think.
What?
So if anybody from Game of Thrones, all of the other actors on that show are probably thinking right now she does suck.
Yeah?
Because I was an actor, so I know how they think.
Really?
I was in theater for a long time.
What was the most challenging role you've ever played?
Richard III.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that turn out?
Great.
For Richard III?
Not great.
Not so great.
He tried to give his kingdom for a horse, and it didn't work out very well for him.
Which is weird because there's horses everywhere back then. You'd think it'd be really easy. If I like my kingdom for a horse, I'd be like, yeah, sure, man. I mean, what, I have to be like a vassal to whatever army you're losing to? I'm still going to be rich. Like, sure, here's my horse. I don't know. Some pretty dumb people in his kingdom. Maybe that's why they lost.
Well, it was in the middle of the battle when he said that, so a little bit different situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you kind of need the horse to get away.
Yeah, no, well,
What if-
really to do anything.
What if you just like say, hop up, Richard? Rich, come on, hop up on the horse. We can ride together. There's enough room on this horse for two. Nobody wants Richard to ride the horse.
Well, he was a hunchback, you know.
Oh, you played a hunch. Were you all hunched when you did the role?
Yes, you have to. He's
Oh,
a
okay.
hunchback.
I don't know. Why are there not pictures of this?
There are pictures of it.
Really? Would
Yeah.
you be willing to release them on social media?
No, I would not.
I think if we all tweet at RNG Monte Cristo and ask him to release Richard III pictures, if you'd like to see Hunchback Monte Cristo, because I know I do.
I also had
Show me.
I also had a goatee for that part too, so it's even better.
Oh, man.
It's even better.
We need to see this.
No.
You brought this up. I'm an actor. I was Richard III.
Yeah,
And then you refused to
That's
show
also
people.
my favorite monologue in Galaxy Quest. You know, I was an actor
I was an
once.
actor.
I played Richard III.
That's right. Do you feel similar? By Grabthar's hammer.
I actually do. You know what?
Oh.
I really do share a lot with Alan Rickman's character in that movie, because Alan Rickman, you know why he was so hurt by the fact that he had to have this position, is because he remembered the time when he was respected for his job as an actor, right? When he was respected, like I used to be respected for my analysis, and then I blew a train whistle, and now that's all everyone talks about.
It was, well, that's because humor is better than analysis. I can't speak English anymore. These pauses are not supposed to go on this long.
I'm just unloading all of my emotional baggage tonight, Noah.
Well, I'm glad you're here. You've taken off. We're getting very casual now. Do you need like a couch to lie back on? I bet that chair reclines a little bit. Can recline.
You know what? You are the last person I want to have analyze me, my psychological issues.
I'm really nice though. I'm a good listener. I'm understanding. And I prescribe like video games for everything, so can't go wrong there.
Hard to argue with that kind of treatment, I guess.
Yeah. Well, they'll make you happy again. Just don't play something depressing. Can you think of some really depressing video games?
I'm sure there are some.
I mean, I can think of video games that I was depressed while playing because they're that bad, but
Wow.
no, not WoW. But I mean, really actually video games that make you feel sad. I felt kind of sad at the end of Shadow of the Colossus. That was
yeah,
that was
true.
a great game.
That was a good game.
Yeah, it was
They're making a
slightly
new one,
depressing,
I
I think.
think, now.
Yeah, well, I mean, same like,
Same concept as
Right.
an eco or
well, same like,
developer.
yeah, developer
Okay.
studio, whatever you want to call it. Whatever sounds more fancy, I guess. I like that. I don't know if it's going to be good, but the last two were really good, so.
I think the odds are pretty solid. That's going to be a decent game.
You never know when you're going to go from Return of the Jedi to Phantom Menace, though. That's always the day.
You never know when you're gonna pull a Phantom Menace.
You
It's
never
true.
know when you're going to go from Game 1 KT versus Penu to Game 2 KT versus Penu.
It's true. There are no guarantees in
Yep.
life, are there?
That's true.
Or Game 3, which is now we're just working on this pause at the moment.
This has been one of our longest pauses ever. It's been about 12 minutes at this point.
12 minutes in.
Yeah. I wonder what's going on in the booth, whichever booth it is. Things looked like they were going fine, but I guess not. Nope.
Everything's broken. It'll never be fixed again.
The system is down. There was like a new Strong Bad thing.
Really?
Yeah, like a couple months ago.
Oh,
Nothing really since then, as far as I know.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, I love those, man. Every Thursday night, the new Strong Bad email will come out. We get pizza, and we'd watch it. We need like a lot more to watch after that because it's only like 5 minutes. We needed something to fill the other pizza eating time, but we'd find something.
I'm glad your
Wasn't so
your life consisted of what to watch while you ate pizza, Noah.
That's I mean, college, man. That's
I mean, but
Yeah.
to be fair, the audience here did have something to watch while they ate their pizza. We filled their pizza eating time super well.
You know, I find like more and more as time goes on, like if I'm eating by myself, I need like something else to do at the same time. I can't just like focus on the food. Maybe I just need to cook better food. But I like always watch a stream or something. You know?
I think you're just getting too distracted, Doa. You need to just sit there and enjoy one thing at a time. Don't stop
Savor it.
stop all the multitasking garbage. Just focus, you know.
You're so wise.
Meditation is for you.
Maybe I need a couch, like lean back, and you can like analyze myself. I'm like, you know, I really could use
Meditation.
pizza right now.
No,
Yeah.
not pizza. Meditation.
Oh, I meant to say meditation. The pizza just slipped out. I haven't had pizza for a while, actually. Yeah.
Also, Korean pizza is questionable in its quality.
It's usually really greasy, which is awful, and it's also got corn in it, which is the ultimate offense to good pizza everywhere is put corn in it. If you like corn in your pizza, you're weird.
Look, I like corn, and if you just told me, if I didn't know better, and you're like, hey, there's corn on this pizza, I'd say, okay, that sounds kind of weird, but not that bad.
That's
but
what I said the first time.
It's actually terrible.
That's what I said the first time when I came to Korea 4 years ago, and I'm like, oh, corn on pizza, all right. I'll broaden my horizons. I'll try it. I'm like, no, this is terrible. This is really awful, awful pizza. But Korea loves it.
It's really hard to get pizza without corn on it.
Yeah, you specifically have to ask to not have corn in most cases. Because even if you get like a pepperoni pizza, they'll still put corn in it.
Corn gets in
We're not
there.
even making this up. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that one of the first things I learned how to say in Korean was no corn, please. Because I would like get a pizza and I'd be like, I got cheese pizza and you put corn in it. Why would you do this? It doesn't go in the tomato. It's not part of the tomato sauce. You can't make that argument. It's just corn. Why do they always do that?
I don't know. I do like the sweet potato, though.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good.
That actually is okay on pizza.
But they put like mayonnaise and stuff on pizza too, which is not. Yeah, it's not
I don't even know.
no, it's not good. And like honey mustard and stuff, no. Like if you have like crust that you can dip in it, sure, but not on the pizza.
That's a weird thing about Western food in general, right? Is that Korean food is not sweet, but when Koreans make Western food, it gets a ton of sugar in it somehow.
It's ridiculously sweet. Like all the bread is really sweet here. All the like pizza and everything is really sweet. But yeah, well, like regular Korean food is not sweet.
I don't understand why they even think that Western food is sweet because it's not even remotely like this.
American food better add some sugar. No, Korea, that's racist. No.
You tell him.
That's right. That's right. It's time for me to unload a little bit here.
Oh, we're going to get back into the
Whoa,
game.
no way. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, we're going to check it first, make sure everything's okay.
Oh, we're okay. All right. We've made it through the pause. Well done, Monte Cristo.
We did it
Excellent
again.
job. Yeah. Well done. Okay, well, KT's pretty far ahead. Nothing's changed there in the pause. 7,000 gold in the lead as they push down the bot lane. Man, I hate pizza with corn in it. Pretty good wave clear for Spenu, though, so I wonder how long they'll be able to hold this off, because somebody's pushing down the top lane right now.
Yep, just going to start the split push on the last couple of tier 2s. He doesn't have a Baron buff, though.
Yeah, but I guess Soul can probably stop him. Yeah.
Soul should be in a perfectly decent position to do that, especially because his ultimate is already back up. Just sitting there will be perfectly fine.
Well, Score got poked out by Saucin a moment ago. Pretty hardcore. Ooh, catch over the wall for some strange reason. And he's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Nagne and Arrow pushed away, though. They have no one really protecting them right now.
No, they can't be split like that from their tank line. That is not a good position for them to be in.
It's dangerous. All right, they really want this red buff. Oh, meanwhile, Soul trying to defend the turrets, but that one Nexus turret has taken quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get this red buff unless there's a Smite Steal that comes in from Spenu. Should be able to get it onto Arrow. Nagne just going to take a bunch of poke damage, though.
Yeah, you got to be careful
quite
there.
strong.
Yeah, and a little bit easier for him to poke from range with those Sand Soldiers than Nagne with the Death Ray.
I don't know. Death Ray's pretty good for poking.
Yeah, but I mean, you can reposition the Sand Soldiers. They have a wider degree of where they can hit, whereas the Death Ray, you miss it, and then you have to wait for the cooldown.
True enough. Well, looks like we're going to be back to baiting at ye old Baron.
I think like KT's just trying to like remember what they were doing before the pause. They're like, what? How many turrets are down? Okay. All right. Yeah, Soul just going to pop his ultimate to mow through, or not even the ultimate, to just go through the wave there.
Well, Rise is quite terrifying. It's just the question remains whether he can actually do anything with all this power he has accumulated. More and more MR stacked onto Someday and Score at this point in time.
I mean, KT is way ahead, but this is still a winnable game for Spenu.
Well, if KT really messed up on their positioning, maybe, but
yeah,
KT is pretty in control of this game, and they have a pretty easy way just to team fight their way to a victory. And they also are going to have control over this mid lane with the super minions right as the Baron spawns. So they're going to be feeling just fine, I think.
And yeah, KT just going right back to baiting that Baron. Got to get Nucleus over there again, or Arrow rather. Nucleus pushing up the mid lane right now.
Yep, just want to get that position. They need to get a few more wards in. They don't have any lenses available to help them out at the moment. Arrow needs another red buff, or they actually decide to complete this bait. There's still a ward within the Baron pit itself that has not been cleared. It's been cleverly placed right inside the lip of the pit, so hard to discover. There's an Azir turret going down to just a mid-wave push. Someday is just incredibly tanky at the moment.
Yeah. KT's got a good position on this Baron. They finally found the last ward.
No, they have not.
Oh, really?
There is one still in the pit.
Yeah, they found it. Oh, there's one in the pit. I didn't see that one. I hadn't found the last ward either.
You're in the dark just like KT is.
Guess so. Well, they're going to go to mid lane anyway. They want to try to take that dragon, I guess.
Well, this is a bit risky to split like this. You really want to be all together, because if Arrow's found alone by the Rise, he's going to be able to chase him down just with the speed boost from his ultimate, more than likely.
Well, there's no wards over there, so KT can pull this off. It looks like.
The bannered minion in the bottom lane.
Yep, smart.
Somebody's going to have to go deal with that. Fortunately, Soul does have TP, but he doesn't have a lot of TP options.
Oh, mid inhibitor's back.
And I guess Peekaboo decided it's time to recall right now. What did he get?
Face of the Mountain?
No, he already had Face of the Mountain.
Ruby Sightstone?
Maybe Ruby and
Kindle Gem?
He got a pink ward, so huge side wave pressure. And that's going to pick off the tier 2 in the bottom sides. And that's going to be them just doing it over. But they have not accounted for this ward.
Yeah, they haven't seen it yet. The Baron is dropping very fast, but Spenu knows exactly what's up. KT must be aware that they know now, too. They're backing off. Yeah, they found Soul, though. Caught him a little bit. Nagne getting very low. Catch getting in with the knockup as well. Spenu, they're going for it, man. Catch gets very low. There's a kill for Nagne, though. And Emperor's Divide pushes everybody back. Double kill for Nagne, and KT, they can just turn onto this Baron if they want to. Nagne still going after Catch. There's a triple kill for Nagne on that Victor. Wow.
Yeah, well, he just has no threat, and they're just going to go right in right now. TP straight towards the inhibitor. They have a Lich Bane. They have a Trinity Force, and they can definitely get this as long as Nagne doesn't die. Nuclear trying to get some damage onto Nagne, prevent him from grouping up, but that's not going to work, and someday they're going to cut off their exit back into their own base. I mean, Nuclear just on the outside looking in.
Yeah, they're going to go after these Nexus turrets now, and with the long death timers that Soul, Catch, and Sassen have to deal with, it looks like this is going to be it. And KT Rolster looks like they will take that 2-1 victory over Spenu Sonic Boom. Thought it'd be 2-0, but interesting match to say the least. That is it. GG.
Yeah, that is going to be it. And KT, well, at least they take the victory, if it wasn't cleanly. Spenu putting up much more of a fight here this evening. KT very methodical in the last game, playing out their composition pretty much properly, and I think the draft from Spenu hurt them quite a bit with their inability to get onto the carries.
Yeah, no, it's disappointing. I mean, Spenu, again, giving themselves a chance to win a match this season and having it slip away yet again. But taking a win off of KT is a pretty big accomplishment for that team. It's certainly the strongest team that they